Good morning and welcome to, well, technically welcome to Michigan's Adventures parking lot. I'm here because the channel just hit 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for checking the channel out, for tuning in to seeing what videos I've been able to put together. So we're gonna do a quick Q&A today. You guys submitted some questions on YouTube as well as on Instagram. Make sure to check out Midcourse Discourse there. But let's jump straight into this. Congrats on 1,000 subscribers, thank you. Most underrated and overrated roller coasters you've ridden. The more I've ridden roller coasters, I feel like the more, for the most part, accurate something is to what I think it's gonna be. The most underrated might be Lost Coaster of Superstition Mountain at Indiana Beach, just because it has quickly become one of my favorite roller coasters ever, and you wouldn't expect that from looking at it, and people don't talk about it that much other than it being a really quirky ride. Overrated, I might for now say Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America, simply because I did ride it in the back seat and everyone talks about that first drop in the back seat like it has insane ejector, and maybe it does, but it might have just been running a bit colder or slower or something, but I was not floored by that ride's first drop like I kind of expected to be. But I'll keep thinking about that. Next up, who are the top creators that you watch and why do you like them? As far as coaster creators go, I would say El Toro Ryan. He's definitely my favorite coaster YouTuber. He's a huge inspiration for the channel. I love Airtime Thrills. I love the international series that Coaster Studios do. Also Zooter Loopers, JB Thrills, Dimitri's Adventures. There's plenty more. Those are some guys that I talk to on a semi-regular basis, and it's cool to connect about making videos. When does the merch drop? I'm not sure. I want to make sure that it's right. You guys have seen the Midcourse Discourse shirt I wear. It actually has Midcourse Discourse on the back, like with the YouTube logo. That shirt's kind of like to be used as a walking advertisement. That's not a shirt I necessarily think I would sell. You don't want to be wearing just like a YouTube link on the back of your shirt. That's weird. I'll stick to being the weird one. I would love to make merch down the line that is more inspired than just like my channel name. I want to come up with a good reason or idea or design behind why. That's something that will be down the road. Any coaster ranking videos coming up? Yeah, that actually is one of kind of the non-vlog park visit videos that I have lined up, is just my current top rides. Since I'm still pretty new to being an enthusiast who is willing to travel around a bit, I think it would be interesting to see my top 10 or 25 now, and then a couple years down the line when I have gotten to a lot more parks around the country or even around the world. So I do want to make one of those ranking videos to kind of establish where I'm at now. Bucket list parks. There are too many to count. Some here in the US would definitely be Knott's Berry Farm, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Hershey Park, Great Adventure once Kingda Ka's replacement happens, Epic Universe, the Virginia parks. There's a lot, and I will be getting to a few of those this year and definitely in the coming season, so stay tuned. Overseas, and maybe in general, my biggest bucket list park would be Phantasialand in Germany. It just seems like the perfect marriage of impeccable theming with some really good rides too. So that's definitely the highest on my overseas list, but other places like Energylandia, Europa Park, Thorpe Park, all of those and more. What was your inspiration to make a channel? I've always been into video stuff and I've always liked roller coasters. So for a long time, just consuming coaster content on YouTube, I always thought it would be fun to start. But to actually go ahead and make the first video, that was right when the news of Dodonpa closing forever was just announced. And I was like, ooh, I'm just gonna record a voiceover and see if I can whip up a video for this. And I did, and then not terribly long after, I didn't even try to be at Indiana Beach for their opening weekend last year when I made the first in-park video that I did. It just happened that I was passing by and it was opening weekend, and I was like, oh shoot, I'll just stop. I had my camera stuff with me, and that's how that first park visit video went. And from there, it just kept going. What investments do you think Michigan's Adventure will receive in the next few years? Good question. One thing to note, over here on these couple of the Camelbacks, they just retracked some good portions of them with RMC 208 track, which is their steel topper track, similar to Titan track that GCI makes. I'm sort of mixed on how I feel about that as far as being a wooden coaster purist, but also there have been seasons where the park isn't really taking great care and it gets a little rough. So having some of those forceful areas kind of guaranteed to stay smooth for years and years to come, that's a plus, but again, it's at the cost of it not really being a fully wooden coaster anymore. So that's happening this year. And as far as the next 5 or 10, who can say? I think there will be some general park beautification. We just saw the Planet Snoopy area added a couple years ago. I would love to see that sort of thing continue, maybe a little more focus on quality and theming in certain areas. My mind goes to the area kind of back by Loggers Run and the entrance to Shivering Timbers and Wildcat. There's some extremely loose sort of Western theming happening there. I would love to see them flesh that out more. And as far as big additions, I don't think we're really gonna see anything ground up here. But I do think the biggest chance we've had in a long time is with Six Flags America closing. I think Michigan's Adventure has a decent chance at getting something from that park. I would obviously like it to be a big roller coaster like Superman or Joker's Jinx, but at the end of the day, even if we got one of their flat rides like their Frisbee or their Nebulous, that's a win here. How do you keep that mustache looking so strong? I don't. It doesn't look great. That's why I stay a little bit away from the camera so you can't really see all the details. I got 2 similar questions. One is favorite video and the other is what's your favorite video that you've made. So I'm not sure if the first one meant favorite video I've made, but I'll start there. Currently, I think my favorite video, not just because it's my best performing, is my Top Thrill 2 video, visiting the park and being able to ride that. I think it was a well-balanced video. And since I knew I wanted the focus of the video to be Top Thrill 2, it was fun kind of infusing it throughout the whole video instead of just starting with one ride, going to the next and the next and the next, kind of having this theme go all the way through. Before that video, my highest viewed video was my original Indiana Beach video, and that was my first park visit. So there's so many things that I perceive as flaws in that video. And more recently, I've made videos that I think are better and they've performed way worse. So it was kind of gratifying to see a video, Top Thrill 2, that I thought I did a decent job at, and it also performed decently well. So, do you think Alpenfury will be the best new coaster of 2025? I do. I am very excited for Siren's Curse as well, but I'm a big launched coaster fan, and I think Alpenfury is just gonna be a little more up my alley. The way that all the inversions flow into one another and just create these funky elements, I'm really excited to try it. What's your favorite flat ride? That would probably be S&S Screaming Swing, specifically Serengeti Flyer at Busch Gardens. That's the biggest one I've been on. Those things are amazing. They go up so high. There's something very unnerving about being at that aggressive of an angle with just a lap bar. I make a point to get on Skyhawk just about every time I'm at Cedar Point. I love those. Who's your favorite person that you rode Top Thrill 2 with for the first time? You were there. Most times on a single coaster in a day. I've never really been into the marathoning roller coasters thing, so it's disappointingly low. It's gotta be like Shivering Timbers like 7 times in a day or something. I've never intentionally done that, but that could be a future video too. I bet I could set a record on this thing. If you're willing to count water slides, there's the drop speed slide at Zender's in Frankenmuth, random. My family went there right after that water park expansion happened. I think I did go on that over 50 times because we went on a weekday and there was no lines or anyone. It was great. Wrath of Rakshasa trip? Yes, I will be there very soon. What's your dream park to visit or roller coaster to ride? I already covered the parks to visit, but for roller coaster, my #1 bucket list coaster would probably have to be Voltron Nevera at Europa Park. Again, I love a launched roller coaster. I love airtime. I love funky, outer banky, hang timey, just crazy elements, and that seems like the perfect mashup of those things. So I'm dying to get on Voltron. What is your favorite coaster and your least favorite coaster? My favorite currently is Steel Vengeance. I very much go back and forth in my mind if I like that or Velocicoaster better. Velocicoaster absolutely is better when you take the whole experience into account, but as far as just a straight up raw roller coaster, that's Steel Vengeance for me, but recency bias probably plays a factor there as well. If I rode Velocicoaster today, I guarantee you I'd say it's my favorite. What is your favorite YouTube video ever? This takes me back to the second half of that earlier question. I don't know if I have a YouTube video Hall of Fame, I absolutely love Defunctland's long format videos like the Fast Pass video or the Disney Channel theme. I'm also fascinated by roller coasters, so a lot of El Toro Ryan's problematic coaster videos are some of my favorites for sure. Are you into cars? Sort of. If you are, what's your dream 3-car garage? I would love kind of the better in every way version of my car. I drive a Fiesta ST. I love driving a little manual hatchback. The Focus RS is kind of like the next level of that, so that would be one. Just my flex on everyone car would probably be like a McLaren 720S. I think those things are like the most gorgeous supercar out there. And then I'll do one that's a bit more utilitarian. If I keep doing this, sometimes I wind up sleeping in my car. I would love to have a big, spacious, comfortable like SUV or something that I could really get like a bed laid down in the back. What do you look forward to most when going to a park? Obviously, the roller coasters. I love roller coasters, but also more recently, especially with like the last trip I just took to Indiana Beach, and even some of my recent trips to Michigan's Adventure, when you've done the same park quite a few times, it's really fun to start kind of looking in the nooks and crannies and seeing what other things there are to do. Like this last time at Indiana Beach with my sister, we just went around and looked at some of the shops and some of the entertainment and things to do and just take in the ambience. I think that's just as fun. So it's definitely a mix of, you know, the rides and roller coasters themselves, but it's fun to kind of find those less appreciated or focused on things at the park, the hidden gems. Do you prefer the original Dragster or Top Thrill 2? As a whole experience, Top Thrill 2. But all the elements on Top Thrill 2 are great. It's like you get the rollback, that's awesome. The backwards launch, the backwards spike, the airtime over the top, it's all great. But the original, the launch, that punch, that was like unbelievable. So that one moment trounces everything in my mind that Top Thrill 2 has. But as a whole, Top Thrill 2 is the better, fuller experience. Both incredible in their own right. John, congrats on 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. 1,000 subscribers with so few videos is impressive. Do you plan to continue your current upload schedule, or do you hope to produce more frequent content in the future? This is kind of like my biggest problem with how I currently do things, is my inconsistency, or at least the lack of quantity in general that I'm making. So this year I will be visiting more parks than I did last year, so already that's more videos. I also hope to be better at just spacing the videos out so that there aren't these weird multi-month gaps. I'm hoping to make more, hoping to have it be a bit more consistent, and I'm hoping to add a bit more variety, which goes into this question. How do you plan to branch out your content? Any new videos or series you plan on starting? 100%. The first video I made on the channel was not a park visit. It was more of a video essay, or kind of, you know, analyzing something that was currently happening in the coaster world. There's other videos like that I want to make. I have one that is pretty much sitting in the chamber ready to go. My problem is I'm kind of at this awkward point where I have enough footage from all of these visits I've made in the last year to be able to use a lot of my footage for some of these topical videos, but not quite enough. I think some of the brand, I don't like saying brand, some of the language of my videos is how I shoot and how I color grade them. Let's say it's like a video about wooden coasters. Going between my footage of Shivering Timbers and, you know, Airtime Thrills copyright-free footage of a different wooden coaster, that's gonna kind of be jarring. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but they have distinct looks. And it's kind of this weird position where I'm just still really trying to go gun-ho on getting as much footage so that I can kind of start to just fully use my own for some of those videos. But I also know I'll never fully be there, so you can expect some different videos coming up in the future. Favorite type of food? Thai food. I love Thai food. What camera equipment do you use? And what does it look like taking it into a theme park? My main camera is a Sony FX30. The two lenses I pretty much always stick with is the Sigma 18-35 1.8. That's what you're watching now. It's kind of like that wide to medium sort of zoom range, and the wide aperture lets it get a good blurry background and perform better in low light. I also shoot with a 70-200 f4, so not as good in low light, but that is like the zoom. That gets me up pretty close to a lot of these things. The lav mic and recorder I use is the Zoom F2. This is just the microphone that comes with it. It works great. It's 32-bit float. If you know what that means, you know why it's awesome. Pretty much no matter how loud things get around me, I'll be able to adjust it later. Whereas with some other audio standards, if things are too loud and you didn't set the settings right, it's just gonna be distorted audio. The retro style shots you see, those are from a Samsung SC-MX20, I believe, which is a digital camcorder. I thought about doing one that shoots to tape and then developing it just became too much of a hassle. So bringing gear into the parks has never been a problem for me. I pack it all in a bag that is just small enough to fit into the movable lockers at the Cedar Fair and Six Flags parks. So I'm kind of at capacity. What is your favorite dark ride that you've ridden? I'm a big fan of Spider-Man at Islands of Adventure and also Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom. Also incredible. Also, if you watched my recent Indiana Beach video, I love a good quirky, maybe a little bit of jank going on. So I actually loved the Den of Lost Thieves at Indiana Beach as well. They're all great. What is your favorite park food? I didn't even try to do this. The Silver Dollar City and Dollywood cinnamon bread. By far, I've shamelessly just scarfed one of those down like it was nothing. I'll go ahead and end it with this one here. What do you think your channel looks like in 5 years? I think it's just gonna be more visiting new places, trying new things, making more content, and just growing as a creator, as a person, meeting more people, a lot of exciting things. So the fact that 1,000 of you have liked the channel so much that you wanna tag along, that means the world to me. So I think that's gonna do it. I know this was a bit of a different video. I just felt like with 1,000 subscribers, some sort of celebration was in order. So thanks for checking out the video. If you liked it, consider liking it. If you're new here, you want to see more coaster content, consider subscribing. My name's John. You've been watching Midcourse Discourse, and I'll see you next time.